Okay, I'm going to try to get really concise because I've been trying to make some of these videos over and over again, and it seems inevitably I get hit by an allergy attack. And I'm too lazy to edit the video later. I want to just do a take for however flawed it might be. Okay, so this is the state of the channel. Going forward, I would like to have a better computer and be able to do insert demos. You're probably familiar with those if you followed a bunch of these channels. The more professional channels have inserts. They have higher resolution video. I would like to have that, you know, the pedal, the picture within the picture, the insert of the pedal or the amplifier, and then the bigger picture of me talking, playing, whatever. That would be really cool. So that's a goal. I don't know if I'll reach it. I probably could have reached it if I had bought less other gear. But going in, the video quality wasn't as important. So it's the proverbial potato cam, my channel. Now I did invest in a Logitech. And when I use the Logitech software, this Logitech USB cam, I'm looking up at it, but it's not plugged. I mean, it's not plugged into the computer. I'm talking about it. When it's running through its own software, it actually makes some high-res videos. I made a couple with it they were like called Noodles or Doodles or something like that. Noodles. Okay, but for all the other videos, it's pretty much been this Logitech or I had a couple of other cameras, like $10 cameras that I bought, and used those at first. But it's all pretty much 240 pixels through Windows Movie Maker, and I haven't figured out how to get a higher resolution. And when I'm doing a music video or performance thing with a song, like with a backing track, I'm not even sure I could do high res given this computer that I have. It doesn't have a lot of horsepower, and I'm running Renoise in the background recording the audio. The audio is actually going into two apps. It's going into Windows Movie Maker and Renoise. And sometimes just some of the bigger files in Renoise combined with Windows Movie Maker, the computer is pretty well tapped out, but just by that point. So I'm not even sure I could raise the resolution in Windows Movie Maker and still get a take. That's kind of a long way of saying I'd like to have a better machine. I don't have a great machine. But I keep making videos anyway just because. I actually like the audio on my videos, so to me that's still the important thing. Now this camera here is an exception. It's a standalone. When I plug the USB into the computer, it doesn't work with Windows Movie Maker or anything. It's just a method of offloading the video onto the computer. So I have actually made a couple of pedal videos with this camera and with the computer audio, and then synced them up later. At the moment I have this set to 480p, which still should be higher quality than the vast majority of my other videos. Anyway, be that as it may, I want a better machine. I want to make better videos. But one thing that struck me was it's sort of been a lack or a decrease in my clarity or my zippiness or my snappiness. I don't know if snappiness is the right word. Just my clarity. I'm trying to think of other words, but I'm at a bit of a loss. So, well, maybe that demonstrates the point. The thing that struck me was I went back and a couple weeks ago and I was watching a video. It was 5 rowing pedals. It had a looper, phaser, chorus, delay, distortion, and it was about how I had ordered them as whole rev and they showed up as rowing. And it was through one of these Davisons. It was a Sunburst with a Monoprice 10-inch speaker, the 40-watt Monoprice with the 10-inch speaker amplifier. So I was demoing those 5 pedals, or testing them. I don't know the exact terminology. I was just talking about these pedals and how they were the wrong brand name, but I was going to check them out anyway. Anyway, what struck me about this video was I just thought I was playing really well. And I don't know that I'm playing so well today. But even if my ability is dropping off for whatever reason, I still feel the need to make the videos just kind of as an archive. And I've got 5090 coming up, which should result in some more material, because I know I play some songs. It's fascinating to me. For instance, a Nanobots or a Sunshine or Star or Princess Singer. It's fascinating to me to go through permutations of takes, like their little shows, karaoke shows, and to differentiate between what happened in the various performances. But I was thinking about it, and I can understand how that's not, wouldn't be anybody else's bag. For instance, take a Led Zeppelin that were filling stadiums. By the time they reached their peak in '77, they were filling, 65,000 seat stadiums, every venue of their tour. And maybe 80,000, somewhere high. Let's just say 70,000 average. They were on the cover of Newsweek or whatever. It was huge. And you have some fanatics that pick apart. Back then, we didn't have YouTube, right? We had bootlegs. You could go get a vinyl at a store that had been pressed from somebody's portable cassette recorder or reel-to-reel. Maybe somebody snuck a reel-to-reel into these shows. With Peter Grant being Zeppelin's manager, I imagine that was kind of difficult, the way he frowned upon bootlegs. But whatever they were using, they were getting recording devices into concerts. They were recording shows. And they is kind of nebulous, I know. People were doing that, and some of these made it to vinyl. So, and then there might have been other people that were collecting cassettes of these performances. I'm just saying, there were fanatics that probably had hundreds of Zeppelin performances and dissected them to see what Jimmy Page did differently in every performance, right? And so that's what I'm doing, a microcosm of that on my channel. I'm doing the same thing, playing these songs over and over again. But I can't imagine that that's like thrilling to you. YouTube is demanding a lot more pizzazz, or I don't know, something that grabs the attention, holds the attention. So I guess that's a roundabout way of my saying, I realized that too, that this is sort of a record for myself of the various ways that I'll play these songs. But I understand completely if it's not, why I put up Nanobots for the 15th time and it only gets 4 or 5 views. I can understand that. So, but that's what I'm doing. That's what I have been doing, and that's probably what I will continue to do. As a matter of fact, one other path I could have taken, just in retrospect, was, okay, maybe buy a little bit less amplifiers and guitars and pedals. Actually get a good computer, a better computer with better high-res video, and make more performances just as I have, but with better video. Maybe get a green screen and put interesting backgrounds on these videos. Maybe bring in some dancers, or try to contact some other singers to come in and make videos. I don't know. A lot of things. I guess I'm just rambling now, but I was struck by that video and how sharp I was in my playing. And it's not as easy just 14 months later or whatever, a year later. Part of that's maybe my employment situation, my health situation. It might all combine. It makes things harder now, but on the upside, I continue, just for my own satisfaction, on these performances and playlists that I upload. They still have their moments. There are, like I just did one yesterday, it was 10 songs. And it definitely had its moments. And, okay, I'll make you a deal, a promise. I won't upload a video that is completely crap to me. I will never do that. So even if you are watching a video or listening to it, and you're thinking, God, this is horrible. Well, I'll grant you that, 80 or 90% of it might be horrible. Maybe. But the reason I upload any of these videos is because there's always that percentage that it's a moment that I appreciate, that I've done, that I'm like, yeah, man, I nailed that moment. Even if I'm playing, for instance, Sunshine, and I'm going through and it's like, dang, man, You're really meandering. You're spewing chunks, as one musician once told me. That was the phrase he used for when he was screwing up on stage. So maybe I'm spewing chunks, but then all of a sudden this riff comes out. It's like, wow, man, that was cool. So that's why the video gets uploaded. But I'll make you a deal. If I ever do something that's just 100% bad from beginning to end, I promise you I won't upload it. But I believe there's something in every one of these videos that is worth presenting to somebody somewhere. Okay. I don't know how I got off on that tangent. All of a sudden I'm feeling really wordy or verbose. I have tried making this video probably 10 times already today. And I actually tried to make this video 5 or 10 times a couple weeks back, or a month ago. And it's just a basic state of the channel. So to reiterate, I want to get a better computer. Maybe do some things with bringing in other performers. Or at least maybe even getting some ads, some custom ads, and putting them in. Advertisements, as it were. But I have noticed a loss in clarity or precision. But at the same time, I still enjoy what I'm doing. And I still like doing these shows and experimenting with different pedal combinations, amplifiers, and guitars. But yeah, I've noticed a drop off. I've gotten bigger. With this allergy season, my face is puffy. I noticed the other day my eyelids were just completely puffy. So there's that going on. I don't know what that is or how it's going to resolve itself, but you know, even given if what I'm saying is true, that it's harder to play today than it was a year ago, maybe harder to speak. Even if all that's true, I want to just keep going, because at some point I got this goal. That's one of the reasons I want to go to 1,000 videos. Don't ask me why. But that's sort of the state of the channel. I'm going to keep on going. I still feel that I'm having my moments up in here. And as long as that continues, I'm going to keep on putting up videos. And anybody that does watch, thank you. You know, I think that an artist is going to find their own work more fascinating than any potential listener, pretty much. Until you get to the level of, well, Led Zeppelin is selling millions of albums. They're filling out, you know, upwards towards 100,000 fans, you know, 60, 70, 80,000 fans. And there's, what, 50 or 100 people that are just totally into the minutiae of every performance and every bootleg and all this. So when I'm getting 20 views or 10 views or 5 views on a video, well, how could I expect anybody to be picking apart umpteen versions of Star, for instance? Speaking of which, though, I just did a version of Star, 25th of June 2017, and that is the best mix. So if you've made it this far, that's the best mix I've done. I don't know that it's the best interpretation of the solo, but overall the mix, that's the best. So it's things like that that keep me going. And you know, as far as health and clarity and all of this, those things can turn around. So I'm not going to give up. Anyway, that's the state of the channel.